So I still consider myself an amateur pike fisherman, but I'm trying to improve all the time, and there's lots of improvements you can make without spending a fortune. Some of my gear was starting to get a little bit old. The old Malarkey seat box that you've seen in a few previous episodes, that finally gave up the ghost completely, so I needed a new solution, and I was considering all sorts of backpacks that have lots of different compartments. There's all sorts of fishing luggage you can get. It's very compartmentalized. Lots of zips, lots of bits, all great. At the end, I still wanted another seat box because I can put so much stuff in here and I still have a seat without having to carry something separate. And it kind of started this whole thing where I needed to replace the rod holder, I needed to replace the seat box, and I thought this is a great opportunity to review how I do things and try to make things smarter. So we'll begin with tackle. This is the old tackle box that I had before. But it's very basic, and in there I would have kept all the stuff to make rigs, as well as the essential things like floats, knives, drop arm indicators, bait, additives, all sorts of stuff. And it was just all getting too much for this one little box. So I got a nice solution to accommodate all of the rigs, or all of the bits and bobs that you use to make rigs. This is a great little solution. It cost about £4, but it means that I can put absolutely everything in one place. Poly balls, crimps, the little plastic covers that go over the crimps, run rings, buffer beads, weights, corks, always useful either for covering hooks or making my new homemade fledgers. Plenty of hooks kept in the bags or kept in the packets just to keep them nice and clean and tidy so that no water gets in. We've got pike wire for making traces, crimps, pliers, all sorts of things, all neatly packed up in a little case. Now, I brought this out with me today because I fancied maybe making some things, but in future I'm not even going to bring this because it's quite heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a lot of traces, all sorts of different types, some with pop-ups, some not with pop-ups, and I'm going to store them in a rig bin so that all I need to bring is this rig bin. And it'll have everything I need in it for a successful pike fishing trip. I shouldn't have to actually build rigs or make rigs or change bits of rigs or fix rigs. I should just carry enough with me in a simple storage solution like this, and it gets rid of this, and it means you can keep this at home where it's likely to stay in great order. This is another little rig bin that I got it's not a rig bin, it's a tin of bolognese sauce with a little piece of insulation. Now the good thing about this is that you can put pop-up rigs in it, and the little poly balls aren't going to cause a problem because you can tuck them in here, wrap it round, and then use like a simple pin through the swivel or through the snap tackle, pop it in there and stick the lid on. When I go home, I'll even just glue this to the bottom so that it's like an actual rig bin. That cost nothing, and it's great. These rig bins, you can buy them. I just bought this one and it has about 5 traces on it. Like I say, I'll have a trace for every occasion and a few spare so that I don't need to bring all of that other gear with me and risk losing it or messing it up. I kept this tackle box because I'm going to keep the essentials in it that aren't really rig items or terminal tackle. Everything in one place. The scales, so you never forget them. Good quality tongs for unhooking fish so you know where they are. Some of my dynamite bait stuff, which I swear by. Floats. And a knife for cutting bait. And that's all you need. So in the future, instead of my seat box containing all manner of different things all over the place, I'll have just one tackle box for the essentials, one or possibly 2 rig bins for the actual rigs that I'm going to use, which will be pre-planned out, and that leaves an enormous amount of free space. And it's free space that you can use for all the other stuff that I used to carry separately. things like camera equipment for the blog or for the channel. There's a huge amount of space in there. Clothing items, all sorts. Another thing that I used to keep in the seat box was the reels. I used to keep the reels in the seat box in big reel pouches. So when it came time to get a new rod hold all, I got this job. You can store the rods assembled. They'll be broken in two still, but you can have the reel on them and you can even have them pre-rigged up. You carry them to the venue like this. That saves you space in here and it means that you can get fishing faster, and that's what I did today. When I arrived at the venue, once I found my spot, I was fishing very, very quickly. I didn't have to set everything up, it was all done. And I had loads of space in here for the camera gear and everything else, and some food as well. Now that means that you can get to the water's edge with just a seat box, a rod hold all, and you can carry your net in a zip up unhooking mat. 3 items. It makes you more agile, it means you can move, swim faster as well, and it just keeps you everything clean and tidy and in its place and not bloated, and you don't risk losing bits and everything. So that's my new setup, very happy with it, and I'll be making a few more videos, and I'll maybe even get a few shorter trips maybe in the evening or at dawn instead of the all-day adventures. So have a look at your own gear, why not? Review how you do things, see if you can do things even better. Even today I've had some new ideas. I could even take the bait and defrost it and put it on the hooks and everything at home and have it in a little plastic tray, have it pre-injected with everything that I want, have the pop-up balls and everything on it. So I can take that in the extra space here, and it means that I just need to snap it on to the snap tackle on the pre-rigged rods. That means I can be super confident in my bait, super confident in the way I'm taking it to the water, and super quick to actually get fishing, which at the end of the day is what matters. Every second you spend rigging up is a second that you want to be in the water with a chance of catching a pike.